Okay, this is the card that we're going to be doing. And some of the stuff I've already done ahead of time. But let's get started. We're going to be using the Beautiful Butterfly dies and the stamp set and the hybrid folder. The hybrid folder you can use the dies with or by itself. Okay, so then you're going to have a card base that's basic white, and that is 5.5 by 8.5, and then scored at 4 1/4. And then this die has a line right here. I don't know if you can see that, and you're going to line that up in the middle of your score line, and then you'll die cut that. And this is what you end up with. So now we're going to just cut. You can use your trimmer or scissors just to cut this part off, because you don't need that. And then you're going to end up with this. And then I have used that same die, and I die cut out of the Botanical, let's see if I can get the right name, Botanical Textures Designer Series paper. So now we're going to have to do some snipping. I call it surgery. And we're going to cut this head off and the bottom or butt, and then we'll attach this to the front. So I'm just gonna do the surgery here. And then you can just kind of see the same where the little score marks are, the fold. And then we'll cut the head off here too. You may have to do some more trimming. And the reason we do that is because I have already die cut and embossed this butterfly, and if you notice, the antenna does not line up with the antenna that we just cut off. So now we're going to glue this on. And see how it goes. By using glue, you have a little bit more wiggle room. Show it on camera here. Okay, now we will add this, and I'll show you. I just put a piece of black And then I put the die. Oh shoot, let's see. Guess I could get the die out. There's 12 dies in here. I want to make sure I get the right one here. So this one, you'll place it on the logo side. Cutting side up. But see, it just kind of sandwiches in there. And you can check on the other side. And then you run it through your embossing, cut and emboss machine, hinge first. And then you end up with this. And now we'll add that to the front. And I just did the center part of it so that the wings are free. And then we had a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 designer series paper for the inside. Just add that here. And then I die cut, that's that same die, just out of white. And we're going to stamp happy birthday on that. And that is from the stamp set. And I gotta find my ink. Woo! Okay. Now the way I attached this was, because you want it to be hidden. I need to also do surgery on this though first. We're going to cut off the antennas. And then so that it goes where it's supposed to, I set it on there, on the top, with the words down. And then you can use Stampin' Seal or glue. See, make sure it's straight. And then we'll fold this part over. And now we'll see if we did it right. Okay, and we did. Okay, now we need to attach our strip in the front. And it seems like that's 1 1/4 wide by 5 1/2. And what I do with that is place it on the bottom. And then we're going to add adhesive just on the tips of the bottom of the butterfly. Again, we'll make sure that this is right where it's supposed to go. Now we've got our card front there. And then I stamped Time to Celebrate, which was in the stamp set. I just stamped it on scrap paper, and then I fussy cut. So we will just quickly do that. So there is a couple of label dies in this die set, but not for this sentiment. Just, oh, my cat's walking around here. I'm dog sitting for my grand dog, and my cats aren't too happy about that. And then we will pop this up with dimensionals, which are right here. And I'll just take a edge off here. Add that to the front. You know, this card looks complicated, but it really isn't. And I can't remember the name of the demonstrator that I got this idea from, to add a strip at the bottom. If I find it before I post it on my blog, I'll add it. And then we use the neutral matte dots. I'm going to use the white. All of these are on the online exclusives, and I will have the supply list on my blog post. Actually, I need to do the weight. Here, I ended up doing the basic beige, I think. There. Okay. And here is the card. Hope you like it. And again, I'll have the supply list on my blog post, and then I'll link that in the description of the video. Thanks for watching. Happy stamping.